Hello dear viewers, my name is Farin Nouri and I'm a migration consultant in Germany. As you know, in my previous video I explained for you about the rejection of asylum application and types of rejection of asylum application in Germany and about the legal aid or Prozesskostenhilfe from which you can profit for a legal proceeding in the court. In this video, I'll explain for you about the types of rejection of asylum application in Germany given by the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany to the asylum seekers who get a negative decision for their asylum application from this office, and about the fact that what you should do against these types of rejection of asylum application so that you can possibly get a protection in Germany. Now we should know what you should do against a simple rejection, which in German it's called einfache Ablehnung or unbegründete Ablehnung. In fact, you have 2 weeks to complain against a simple rejection in the administrative court. As I mentioned in my previous video about it, these 2 weeks starts from the day you have received the decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany about the rejection of your asylum application. If you do not complain against this decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany in the court, you must leave Germany within 1 month. When you complain against the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany in the administrative court, during the time that the court processes your complaint and until it issues its decision about your complaint, you have the status of an asylum seeker whose case is in the process, and that is why you get an Aufenthaltsgestattung, which means a temporary residence permit, the same as the Aufenthaltsgestattung you have had during your asylum process in the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany. At the end of the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany about your asylum application, it's usually written about the fact that where and how you can complain against this decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany. This part is named Rechtsbehelfsbelehrung, which in English means instructions on legal remedies. In fact, you have 1 month to submit the reasons for your complaint in the same court where you have submitted your initial complaint. Actually, a lawyer usually does this job for you. That is why, as soon as you get a simple rejection for your asylum application from the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany, you should refer to an asylum procedure counseling office or to a lawyer who is expert in asylum and migration issues so that they can make a complaint for you in your relevant administrative court within 2 weeks, and then within 1 month they can send the reasons for your complaint to the court. It's worth mentioning that if you get new information or new documents about your case which can help your complaint in the court, you can submit them all to the court before the court hearing takes place or before the court decides about your complaint, so that the court can also consider the new information or new documents in its decision about your complaint. After you have made a complaint in the court against the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany, you should wait for the court hearing, and if the court decides about your case in your absence, based on the reasons you have provided to them, in this case, you should wait for the decision of the court. Now we should know that what you should do against an obviously unfounded rejection, which in German means offensichtlich unbegründete Ablehnung. If you have got an obviously unfounded rejection from the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany for your asylum application, you have 1 week to complain against it in the court, and 1 month to submit your reasons for your complaint in the court. In fact, this 1 week starts from the day which you have received the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany for your asylum application via post. However, in exceptional cases, it's also possible to complain against this decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany after 1 week. For example, if there is a mistake in the part of Rechtsbehelfsbelehrung or instructions on legal remedies of the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany, or if it's not your fault that the 1 week has passed without a complaint or an urgent application in the court. It's worth mentioning that even if you complain in the court during this 1 week, it is possible that the German authorities deport you from Germany. That's why you should refer to a lawyer who is expert in asylum and migration issues so that he or she can complain for you in the administrative court against it and submit an urgent application in the same court about it within 1 week. In fact, your lawyer can write both the complaint and the urgent application to the court together and submit them together to the court. You should write all the reasons you have against the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany concerning your asylum application in the urgent application, because the court usually decides about it in your absence and then sends its decision about it to your lawyer in written form. When your urgent application or Eilantrag is accepted by the court, you should then wait for the decision of the court, and until then you can have your Aufenthaltsgestattung or your temporary residence permit and use it. And if needed, it will be extended by your foreigner's office, which in German is called Ausländerbehörde. However, if your urgent application is rejected by the court, you may possibly be deported from Germany very soon. In fact, if the court rejects your urgent application, your relevant foreigner's office issues for you a Duldung, which in English means Certificate for Suspension of Deportation, and with this Duldung, you may possibly be deported from Germany. At the end of the negative decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany about your asylum application, it's written about the fact that where and how you can complain against this decision, and where and how you can submit your urgent application or your Eilantrag against this decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany. This part is named Rechtsbehelfsbelehrung, which in English means instructions on legal remedies. As I mentioned for you before, if you get an obviously unfounded rejection for your asylum application from the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany, you have 1 week to complain against it in the court. If you do not complain against it in the court within this 1 week, or your urgent application is rejected by the court, you should leave Germany voluntarily. Otherwise, after this 1 week, the foreigner's office gives you a Duldung and you will be then possibly deported from Germany very soon. I think it should be enough for today. I'll explain for you in my next video about the last type of rejection of asylum application with its details and what you can and should do if you get this type of rejection from the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany, so that you can possibly stay in Germany and avoid a possible deportation from this country. In addition, I'll explain for you how you can appeal in the higher courts and complain in other institutions if the administrative court rejects your complaint. And last but not least, I will also explain for you about the partial protection or Teilanerkennung with all its details and where and how you can complain against a part of the decision of the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees of Germany so that you can possibly get a better protection in Germany. Thanks a lot for watching my video. If you would like to get similar important information about the migration laws in Germany, your rights and duties in German society, the living conditions in Germany, and other such important topics, please subscribe and follow our channel. If you have any questions or remarks about today's topic, you can write it under this video and I will be more than happy to answer it for you.